Today's pie is from the Gayndah Bakery. Gayndah? I think that's how you pronounce it. Gayndah Bakery in Gayndah, which I really can't tell you where it is. A couple 100 kilometres from Brisbane. So, no steak and mushroom, despite it being early in the morning and a full pie load in the oven. So today's one is cheese and bacon. So, let's have a munch. All right, in a foil container. Pops out easily. That's a good start. All right, let's have a look. Bit brown on the bottom, soft in the base, foil container. Looks all right on the top. Yeah, not too badly joined around the edges. Oh, I can feel the base squishing in where I'm hanging onto it. All right, let's have a munch. Halfway through my pie. Oh, look, it's crunchy around the outside. The base is soft. You can see that squishing in, but it is holding together. The cheese and the bacon on the top give it a bit of crunch. The gravy's nice and thick. A bit on the sweetish side, I would have to say. A couple of chunks of steak in there, not too bad. They're not chewy, they're soft enough. And I haven't really come across a lot of bacon yet, but you can see some bits in the bottom there. So I'm hoping to get lucky for the rest of it. Finished my pie. Look, some mixed feelings about this pie. It was quite tasty, I have to say, but, all right, the pastry was soft on the bottom, but it kind of held together, but I was getting a bit worried about sticking a finger through it at one point. It was joined well together on the lid, nice and crunchy around the edges, nice crunchy bits on the top, mostly because of the cheese on the top. And that's the problem. I could only taste the cheese on the top. There didn't seem to be actually any cheese within the pie as well. In terms of meat, a couple of bits of steak I came across, which weren't bad, but 2 pieces. Bacon, there was a couple little bit extra down the bottom there from when we looked at it through the halfway point, but not many. And the gravy was nice and thick and rich and quite tasty. A little bit of onion in it, a little Swedish in flavour. But then I realised it's all gravy. There's no mince. So it was basically a gravy pie with a bit of bacon in it. So I have to say, overall, while it's a very tasty pie, I'm kind of disappointed. So I'm only going to give this a 2. Especially for $7.50. I want a bit more meat.
So I had a pepper steak pie. And I actually enjoyed the pastry a lot. I have to be honest and say this was the perfect pastry. It was soft, the bottom, but it held together. It was crunchy at the top. So far, the best pastry I've had in a pie. The filling, the gravy was beautiful. It was very peppery. Also, the perfect amount of pepper. Unfortunately, I found only the tiniest bits of mince. At most maybe 2 or 3 tiny little pieces of mince, and that is very disappointing. And also the filling, even though the gravy was perfect, it was very light on. So all in all, I'm going to give this a 2. Sure. This quite easily could have been a 5 out of 5. The pastry was perfect, the gravy was absolutely divine. What do you need to do to get it a 5? Put a few chunks of steak in there, people, and just a little bit more filling, and voila, 5 out of 5.
So if you do decide to come here and get a pie, and look, even if you don't want a pie, stop in the town. It's quite a pretty little town. If you come down where the pub is, there's a set of steps that goes down to a very nice walkway along the river here. And at the top of the hill, there's a set of seats here, so you can sit your bum down here and enjoy the view.